Coach, just obviously less than a week away. How excited are you guys, and how are you guys feeling heading into this week?
We're really excited that the season's right around the corner. And my gosh, today, like, it's rainy, it's cold outside. This just screams basketball, right? We play an indoor sport in tank tops and shorts. So, it's just, it feels like basketball season outside. It's awesome. And so, we're less than a week away from our first game, and we couldn't be more excited. I think our players are pretty tired of practice right now. They're tired of playing against one another. So we're ready for the season to kick off.
And something we've talked about in the past too is the grad transfers that you brought in, and a little bit more of the seniority that this team has now because of that group coming in. When you think about that group and the experience that they have and the amount of games they've played, the amount of minutes, all that, how much of a role has that played in your preparation for this first game, knowing that there are first game jitters and everything along those lines?
I think it'll be huge that we have added this experience and maturity in the locker room. I mean, so far we've benefited a lot in practices, just having some wisdom and some more experience on the sideline. But I'm looking forward to our super seniors continuing to be leaders for us as we get games under our belt, for them to, kind of bring a different perspective, before games, after games. And I've said this before, but I can't even imagine not having these grad transfers, and maybe we won't have another team without them. I mean, they have been such a welcome addition to our program, and just added so many intangibles that we really didn't even expect.
I mean, that's awesome. And I think one thing that I asked Coach Tanner is, every season, it feels like a clean slate. You get the opportunity to have all these new players in here. What has that been like for you? And do you think that, how exciting is it for you every season to come back with a new group or a partial new group and be able to help mold that group into what you want to do on the
Yeah, good question. I think this year we've probably expressed this more than we have in the past, that nobody has secured a spot at all for not starting, not, sixth man, seventh man. Like, it's all up for grabs. And that has made our practices very, very competitive. I think none of our returners feel very comfortable in their positions right now. And I think they feel that practices have been super competitive from our 8 new players, day after day. And that's what you want out of your practices. You want players to be competing every day for playing time and for roles on the team. And I think that's what we've seen throughout the course of our preseason practices.
Awesome. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
So obviously Southwest Tuesday, what are they looking like? What are you guys really focusing in on that scouting report?
Yeah, I have no idea. So what we have coming up this week, we've got our second scrimmage. We're headed to Lubbock on Friday, and we're going to scrimmage against Texas Tech and get to see Coach Drury for a few minutes there. And so I think our players are focused on that right now. Our next opponent is Texas Tech. It's not an actual game for us, but that's really what we're focused on in practice right now. And I think just these practice scouting reports and practice, watching video and breaking that down will prepare us for our opening game next week. And we're really excited. Our first 3 games are at home. And so we're excited about those to come around. And they'll be here sooner than we know it.
We slightly touched on the Texas Tech scrimmage last week, but heading into this scrimmage against Texas Tech, what do you really want to see out of your team?
Yeah, there's one of our core values is control the controllables. I know our kids get tired of me saying that, but when you're going into a scrimmage like this against a Power 5 school, that's truly what you need to focus on. What is it that we can control? We can control our effort. We can control execution, being disciplined with the basketball in order to try to cut down on some turnovers. We are in total control of our communication, how much we talk to one another and communicate throughout the course of a possession. It's great in defensive transition to know who you're guarding, but then what are you saying the rest of the 25 seconds of that possession? So I think communication and effort are going to be 2 things that we're really looking at and want to see our team move forward in those areas.
So looking at it from this standpoint, who are a couple players you would say that we and fans and press and everybody should keep an eye out on for the season that might come as a surprise to us that you've really seen step up and do well during practice?
Yeah, good question. Right now, Cameron Mraz has been a really good vocal leader for us in practice, and she should be. I mean, she's our quarterback, and this is her 4th year with our program. We really haven't done anything new up to this point, so she understands what we're trying to get out of everything right now. So she's doing a really good job, I think, being a vocal leader. With our super seniors, they're going to be new to our fans, but with Tatum and Jamie and Emma, I think it just adds a totally new dynamic to our program that we've got these veteran players, but this is their one and only season with us. So you get 1 year to see them as Wildcats, and they're exciting. Nikel Kramer adds some excitement for us, probably our best on-ball defender right now, and she's a freshman, a little bit of an unknown to our fans. And then Bella Earl is a really special player, long wing player that we can play in a couple of different positions, and I think that the fans will enjoy watching her play as well.
That's all I have for now. Thanks, Coach.
Actually, to kind of piggyback off of the grad transfers for 1 second. So just knowing that they're only here for 1 year, knowing that there is, Emma talked about it during WAC Media Day with, trying to capitalize on all the opportunities you have here because once again, you're only going to be here for a year, right? So how important is it for you to be able to capitalize on that veteran leadership, on that experience, and really just try to, not only have success this season, but potentially have that experience and just reps and everything bleed into the next couple of years?
Sure. So, when you have seniors, I usually sit them down as a group, before we start games and just say, hey, you've got to have urgency every day because this season is going to go by faster than any other season. And so if you're a super senior, I bet it goes by even faster than it did your senior year. And so our super seniors, as well as our seniors and Paige and Maddie, you can't leave things unsaid. You can't leave things undone. Don't say, I'm not going to get up extra shots today. I'll get those tomorrow, because pretty quickly that'll catch up to you that you didn't put the work in when you had an opportunity to, because for our players, they're not getting a season back. This is it, whether you're a senior or a super senior. And so you want them to make the most of every opportunity of every day that they have in practice and games. And at the end of the day, they're 18 to 23-year-olds, and it seems like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy and life is so hard and all that. And they find out pretty quickly when they get out into the real world, you become really, really busy. And so we try to get them to understand, this is a really fun opportunity. Maximize the opportunities you have to be on this pedestal, because once you leave and you're not a current player on the roster, your status changes incredibly when you get out into the real world. And so we want them to really embrace their opportunity to be a part of something special this final season.